Good morning, Tom. This morning I'm going to tell you about a gentleman in Hull called Alan Marshall. Now, Alan Marshall started a wedding hire service in 1976 using Humber motor cars. He collected these cars over the years, and it became the biggest collection of Humber cars in the world. Now, it was started originally by Alan's father, Reg, who was in the army, and he drove Humber staff cars and thought a lot about them and really loved them. So when he returned to civilian life, he became involved in the wholesale potato business, and as the business grew, he ended up being able to afford to buy his first Humber car, which was a 1938 Humber Snipe. In 1956 Alan was born, and in 1960 Reg purchased a 1954 Humber Pullman limousine, registration number OUV 999. This car had originally belonged to Baroness Rothschild. This car actually became the flagship car of the whole fleet of Humbers that Alan eventually put together. And in 1976 Alan married his wife Barbara, and they actually used this car themselves along with two other Humbers that had been added to the collection. The start of many more weddings began because of this, and it became a thriving business offering an old-fashioned customer service. So I shall video some pictures out of the little pamphlet I've got here, which is a Silver Jubilee pamphlet from 1976 to 2001, and it shows you a selection of the many cars that Alan had put together. Because sadly in 2018 he actually moved 20 on to auction. They went down to Charles Hanson's auctioneers in Staffordshire because it was a bit too much to handle. He retained 3 cars, one of which was the Baroness Rothschild one, and 2 others to honour weddings that had already been booked prior to him getting rid of most of his fleet. So we'll have a look through the book and have a look at some pictures of his many splendid Humbers. So here we are, Tom. We'll start off with this one. Looking very splendid, and so is the bride. So this one, 1951 Humber Pullman limousine, 7-seater, Thruppen Mapley Coachworkers of London. Did a lot of work for Daimlers as well, I believe, this company. Made by appointment to HRH King George VI. So here we have another one, registration HRP27. Formerly the property of a company chairman. I wonder what company he worked for. And then just further up the page here. And here is the famous Baroness Rothschild car that of course Alan has retained with the other 2 cars. And that would have had a coat of arms on the door I have actually got 4 models of Humbers that Alan has had in his collection, which I'll show you later on. I didn't realise actually that they were from his collection, because I bought these through a company called Oxford Diecast, but just out of curiosity I changed I looked at the registration numbers rather, and they are the same cars out of Alan's collection. So here we have a real beauty, 1937 Humber Pullman Mark 1 limousine. And a Humber Imperial, like the little pedal car at the side. And this is a real prize, is this one, as you can see from the writings, supplied new to Her Royal Highness the Queen Mother. And this car was always up in Scotland, I believe. And this car, as you can see, was used in the Buddy Holly film Oh Boy. And this car, of course, is quite unique, as you can see from the writing, one of only 10 examples in the world, and very low mileage. This one, an ex-mayoral car of Jersey. So got some unbelievable history, these cars, when you think about it. You know, you can't just pick these up willy-nilly. He's really gone to town, as Alan. Here we have a Super Snipe, produced between 1953 and 56. And only 29,000 miles from new. This car is believed to be the lowest mileage example of its type in the world. Wonderful. And this one, apparently driven by Sterling Moss. And this car, RUG 224, is the only Mark IV Super Snipe with automatic transmission. Believed to be the only known one. Very rare. And there's a little pedal car again. These apparently were produced in the late 40s, it says here, and sent off to car showrooms of the day, and were purchased originally for the customers' children. Now we come up to the more modern ones from 1967, the Humber Imperial Saloon here. As it says at the top, favoured by Prime Ministers, people like Harold Macmillan, Harold Wilson, possibly Margaret Thatcher. Very rare cars now, Humbers. You don't see many of these on classic car shows. First British car to have double headlamps. No, I didn't know that. And this is a lovely picture. A real nice lineup of 4 Humbers. There could be possibly 5. I can't quite make out the last car, the 5th car going to the back of the picture. That could be a Humber as well. So this is just a selection of what Alan must have had, and you know, they must have looked terrific. So this last bit here is of the car museum, cum garage, I would think. And the middle picture here is very interesting because it's the 1933 Humber Snipe 80 Saloon. Registration number JJ3460, and that belonged to Edward and Mrs. Simpson's. Royal Humber, awaiting restoration. And a picture of Alan and Michael Aspel on the Antiques Roadshow after winning Collector of the Week. So what a fantastic collection Alan has amassed over the years. Truly remarkable. So these are 2 of the 4 cars that I've got, Tom, that are identical to the ones that Alan has, right down to the registration number. The back one here is the Rothschild car, which Alan still has today. And these are the last 2 out of the 4. Again, registration numbers are exactly the same as what are on Alan's cars. They're just authentic. They're in every detail. They're absolutely spot on. So there we are. So there we are, Alan. That's the Alan Marshall collection of world famous Humbers. It is unbelievable really, because I'm only an hour's drive from Hull, and I did have the chance of going through to see this collection, and for some reason, whatever it was, I never managed it, and now of course it's too late because they've all gone. But that's life, and let's hope, as Alan says, let's hope they've found a good home and they'll be treasured and loved like he did. I'm sure a certain gentleman that we know in Canada will like this video. I hope so anyway. So once again, thanks very much, Tom. Bye.